Man. Usually I try to open up these videos like with a joke before I do the intro. You know, I say like, "Hello, I don't know, hello Digidestin, or hello Duelists, Pokemon trainers. Welcome to the King's Court," and all that. And I'll still do it. Welcome to the King's Court. Man. Okay. This is a bit of man, a different kind of video. Now, uh, if you're not familiar with the channel, here we primarily focus on, gaming, TCG gaming, video games. We do Digimon, we play Digimon, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Smash Bros. We got some more of those planned. Eventually, I want to start bringing some DBZ videos. Sparking Zero's coming out. But one thing that we don't always talk about here, but I have talked about it before, is here on the channel, me especially, I'm a huge comic book fan. Like, huge. I've actually been reading comic books since I was a little kid. My my aunt, my Dia, she gave me a bunch of comic books when I was a little kid. Me and my younger brother. And ever since I was a little kid, and still to this day, my favorite of all time, ever since that day, because the first comic book she gave me was Batman. Batman is still my favorite superhero of all time. I mean, if you watch our Yu-Gi-Oh content, I play heroes. It's kind of obvious I'm a comic book fan. And if you're part of any kind of comic book scene on YouTube, Twitter, whatever, this whole internet sphere, or hell, you probably don't even, but you've probably seen this trending on Twitter. One of the biggest, I think he might be the biggest comic book content creators on YouTube has sadly, tragically passed away. And of course, I'm talking about Comicstorian. I'd like to assume if you watch this channel, you are probably you follow some kind of the like nerdy, I don't know what you want to call it, fandoms, stuff like that. So you've probably heard of Comicstorian, but really quickly for anyone who may not know, Comicstorian is a well-known content creator here on YouTube, who primarily does he's also done like anime and like manga and light novel stuff too, but primarily he's most known for his comic book videos. Like he would go over, obviously they cut stuff out, but he would go not word for word, but give like a dramatic voiceover telling and recap of very well-known comic books in the fandom. And he's been on YouTube for about 10 years. I think it's exactly 10 years. And literally, I was just scrolling through Twitter and I saw R.I.P. And come on, let's be real. You go on Twitter, you're gonna see tons of stuff all the time. You're gonna see some of the craziest stuff that's trending. And I'm gonna be honest, I usually don't care. I mean, I only really use Twitter just for memes, retweet artwork I like, and follow a couple of follow like some content creators we like. But one that we saw recently when I was scrolling was R.I.P. And somehow, I don't know how, it came onto my feed, and it was on Comicstorian's Twitter accounts, and it looked like his wife. Now, obviously, he put his name out there and all that, but I don't like name dropping people. But I'll leave a link to I'll leave a link to it in the description if you want to go read it for yourself. His wife was talking about that apparently a tragic accident happened, and I could be wrong. I mean, I don't think there's been any more information on that, which I understand. That's obviously a personal. That's personal. First off, I have to give it to them. Condolences to them. We as fans only knew him through his videos, so automatic right away. What matters most is the people that are alive that knew him personally. His wife, his family, his friends. I doubt any of them will hear this or see this video, but just my condolences. Losing somebody you care about is never, ever easy. So, as someone who was, a big fan of his videos, I just want to say my condolences. And that's coming from both me and Shelby Michael, because I don't know what this video is, honestly. I don't usually get hung up on people who like I don't know personally. Like the only times I've ever really cried when somebody passed away was, I'll admit it, when Toriyama passed away, when Jason David Frank passed away. You know, the actor who was well known for who played the in Power Rangers, and when obviously Batman himself, both Batmans, Kevin Conroy, and Adam West, when they passed away. Those are like some of the few times I legit teared up when hearing that somebody passed away and I didn't know who they were. And there have obviously been, you know, unfortunate deaths of well-known content creators, but this one really got to me because Comicstorian, in all honesty, is somebody who really refueled my love of comic books. Because here's the thing, like I said, my favorite of all time, my favorite superhero, probably honestly, I'm willing to even say my favorite character of all time is Batman. I'm a huge the Batman franchise is the only franchise I'm willing to say that I love as much as I love Dragon Ball. And if you've seen my videos where I talk about Dragon Ball, I love the series to death, and Batman is the only series that rivals that. And it go back to when I was a little kid. Like I won't show pictures because I don't show my personal reasons why I don't, but I legit have baby pictures of me when I was a legit baby wearing a Batman's t-shirt and sweater and all that. And again, I've just been a fan of the series since I can remember. And Comicstorian, I was going, he's been on YouTube for about 10 years. I can tell you, if you've seen our Twitter, the first video me and Chandler and Michael both ever saw of Comicstorian was his video of him I think it actually might be his most viewed video. I could be wrong. I think it is, last time I checked. Was his Green Lantern Corps All Explained. Because Chandler and Michael is a big Green Lantern fan. That's it. His favorites are Green Lantern and Iron Man. And he really wanted to watch it, and we did. And we've been hooked ever since. We were... Oh, man. I think we were still... Okay, we were either still freshmen, like it was either our first year, or at least our second year in college when we first saw that video a long time ago, 10 years. I'm looking at the video right here on my phone, and oh man, 10 years. Wow, a long time. And first off, I just want to say just how amazing that is. Think about it. You see, like a lot of other content creators who just burn out or stop doing videos after a couple years. And, not everyone is for different, everyone has different reasons. Some people, just don't have that drive anymore. Some people just don't like it anymore. Or, just careers and all that. I understand. Not everyone's the same. But just the fact that he's been at this for 10 years consistently is just something to just marvel at. Marvel, pun intended. But... after that Green Lantern video, and for the record, I learned so much from those videos, because he would go into detail of talking about what the big stuff going on in comic books in the West. Like before that video, I didn't even know there was an Orange Lantern. Real talk. I only thought there was like green and yellow, and then eventually white and all that. And I'm like, I didn't know those existed. So that was crazy back then. But I gotta be honest. My favorite, though, had to have been his Batman videos. His talking about the Arkham Asylum origins. Explaining the New 52. I didn't even know what the New 52 was back then. But Comicstorian just was one of those channels where I could know, if I want to know something about comic books, I could just go watch him. I've been watching him in Variant. I think Variant's been around also 10 years. I could be wrong, but those have always been like the two comic books channels I always watch. But just, man, it's just really sad to see. And I don't know. I guess this is just like me rambling at this point. Maybe me just fanboying at this time. But at the same time, this is just like, I just wanted to make this quick tribute video because, in all honesty, not only was I don't know how old he was. I think he was roughly he might have been a couple years older than me. That's just way too young, honestly. That's, again, I don't know what the details were. If they never share them, I understand, privacy reasons. But at the same time, man, that's just way too young, honestly. And just condolences to his wife, his family, his loved ones, everybody. But as somebody who I don't really want to say grew up. Well, kind of. Well, I don't know. I was young. I was young when I saw it. Like, said for college years and all that. So, as someone who's been entertained by his videos for the better part of a decade, and honestly, after this, I'm probably just gonna go watch a bunch of his old Batman videos. Start going down memory lane, and shoot, I might even look at the comments, see who else is here now, rewatching these too. And if you're hearing this, I, as a fellow fan of Comicstorian, as a fellow Batman fan, just R.I.P. I don't have a great way to end this. R.I.P.